It's almost playoff time in Seattle, but we need your help to get there. Folks, if you want to see your Seattle Seahawks in the postseason, like today's video. Don't jinx it. Don't be the reason why the Seahawks missed the postseason because you didn't like today's video, and I have to come find you because you didn't like the video. Let's all do our part. This team needs all the luck, all the good juju vibes we can get. Like the video, and we'll get started with today's show. We are talking playoff picture for your Seattle Seahawks. What's it going to take to make the postseason as the Seahawks enter Week 18 with their backs against the wall? Before last week's game against the Steelers, they controlled their own destiny. They gave that up with that loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now, how do things look from here? The Niners have the 1 seed, Cowboys the 2, Lions the 3, Buccaneers at 4. The wild card, the Eagles are at 5. The 5 seed will either be Philly or Dallas, one of the two, depending on how this week goes. The Rams have locked up the number 6 seed. They will stay in that spot. So that means the number 7 spot is up for grabs going into the final week of the regular season. Here's what we're talking about here, folks. The Green Bay Packers, with that 8-8 record, they hold that spot. But here's how things could play out from there. The Seattle Seahawks still in contention. The New Orleans Saints still there. And the Minnesota Vikings, with a slim chance, are still eligible to make the postseason. It is down to those final teams to make it in. And so you may be wondering, who do I root for this week? Because obviously the Seahawks need help. What's it going to take? Let me tell you this much, folks. We are all Chicago Bears fans this week. What's our buddy Harrison Graham over at Bear Snail say? Bear down, FGB. We need the easiest way for the Seahawks to make the playoffs is a win against Arizona this week and Green Bay to lose or tie against the Chicago Bears. If that happens, the Seahawks are in the postseason with that number 7 seed. There's a couple other scenarios where Seattle could get in that are a little more tedious. The second situation involves Seattle tying this week against Arizona, a Green Bay loss or tie, and a Tampa Bay loss or tie. And then situation number 3 involves a Seahawks tie, a Green Bay loss, and a New Orleans loss or tie this week against the Atlanta Falcons. So it gets a little messy. The easiest way is just take care of business and hope the Bears beat the Green Bay Packers there. The New York Times, with their playoff predictor, I will not make fun of the New York Times today. We'll leave that for another day. The playoff chances for Seattle heading into this weekend, about a 21% chance to make the postseason of them winning and the Bears winning to get in. Gives them about 21% chance. If the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, then that goes up to 42%. And then with the win against the Cardinals, and assuming the Bears take care of business against the Packers, then 100% you're in. So it's very simple. Those two things. The Seahawks win, Chicago wins, you're in good shape. So let's ask you, our pinned comment today, will the Seahawks be in the postseason? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. If Seattle gets the job done or not, weigh in and let me know. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Factor Meals. I got to tell you, I love Factor Meals. The food is outstanding, and it's cheap, too. Listen to this. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie-smart, vegan, plus veggie, and more. Plus, over 55 weekly add-ons, and you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Forget frantic lunch preps and rush dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon in the new year. Fuel up fast with restaurant-quality meals, all delivered right to your door. When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week. Or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. Head over to factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 and use code SeahawksChat50 to get 50% off. That's code SeahawksChat50 at factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 to get 50% off. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Factor Meals, proud partner of Seahawks Today. Be eating good with Factor Meals. All right, so let's look ahead to NFL Week 18, starting with the Seahawks matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. You may recall the Seahawks won the previous meeting when these two teams met early on this year, but there is a noticeable difference between now and then. Kyler Murray is starting at quarterback now for the Arizona Cardinals, back from that ACL injury, and they are better than what their record indicates. I know that they're 4-12, but this team cannot be taken lightly. They just beat the Philadelphia Eagles this past week. Kyler Murray is a significant upgrade of what they had at that quarterback position. They are at home here, and you got a lot of guys. I know that people are going to talk about tanking and all that. This team's not trying to tank. These guys are playing for their jobs and trying to prove why they should stick around next season. You better believe the Cardinals are going to be putting everything forward to try to salvage this season to finish on a high note of some sorts, going out with a win against the division rival. Meanwhile, the Bears-Packers game. The Packers got the best of the Bears earlier this season. It is in Green Bay, so the Bears have their work cut out for them. And Justin Fields, think about this. Not only are we looking at a Bears team that is desperate to beat Green Bay and end this losing streak, we'll talk about here in just a second, you got Justin Fields that doesn't know what his future looks like. Matt Eberflus, we've been told, is coming back, but we'll see how that goes. Guys with a lot to prove on this Chicago Bears team as they want to get this win here to try to put themselves, get some momentum going for next season here. So a big game for the Chicago Bears. They still have something to play for despite being out of the playoff picture. Here's 3 things you need to know about heading into this weekend and where everything stacks up. The Packers have the tiebreaker over Seattle, even though they have the same record, due to strength of victory. I don't know what that means. Is that like college basketball resume talk in March? Whatever it is, the Packers have that tiebreaker. That's why they have the edge over Seattle at the moment. Seattle, meanwhile, has a tiebreaker over the New Orleans Saints based on best win percentage in NFC games. They have that edge over New Orleans there. That's why they have that where things stand in the standings. And then here's an important detail. As far as all of us being Bears fans and needing a Bears win, did you know the Chicago Bears have not beaten the Green Bay Packers since 2018? That's been a minute. That's been a while. We've had a couple presidents since then, since the last time the Chicago Bears beat the Green Bay Packers. So they are needing a win badly, need to end that streak. As far as when I look at those two matchups, I'm not confident that the Bears are going to beat the Packers because the Packers have to win this game to get into the postseason. Remember last year, though, the Packers had to win Week 18. Similar situation where the Seahawks were cheering against the Packers. We were all big Lions fans last year. The Lions beat the Packers in Lambeau to eliminate them and get the Seahawks in. Here we are again, fast forward to 2023, and we need the Seahawks to win, and we're rooting for the Packers to lose. Same thing. I'm more confident the Seahawks will beat the Cardinals than I am in the Bears beating the Packers. It's a bad matchup for the Bears, this Packers team is. Jordan Love has played a lot better football as of late. But let's ask you, what is your confidence level in the Bears beating the Packers? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comment section. Scale it 1 through 10. I'm going to go with about a 4 out of 10 right now. I'm not feeling great. So about 40% is how I'm feeling. How are you feeling about it? Let us know in the comment section. Folks, you got to subscribe to Seahawks Today. If you haven't already, you're missing out. We had a watch party last night for the Washington-Texas game, which was just incredible. Great win for the Huskies. They're off to the College Football Playoff National Championship, and we bring you daily coverage on the channel. We'll also have our watch party coming up on Sunday for the game against the Cardinals, and we got another watch party coming up Monday night for the National Championship as well. For daily Seahawks coverage, the best on YouTube. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Subscribe now for free. We'll have you covered each and every day here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. Now, if the Seahawks do win and the Packers lose and make it to the playoffs, the Seahawks, we mentioned earlier, would be the number 7 seed. That's all that they can be. And they would be facing either the Eagles, Lions, or Cowboys on the road. One of those three teams still to be determined based on how this weekend's games ultimately play out. And I got to tell you this, for those of you that are saying, well, it doesn't really matter, I mean, Seahawks would be the 7th seed and all that, that is where you're wrong. Think about this. The Seahawks beat the Eagles. The Seahawks beat the Lions, and they went toe-to-toe with the Dallas Cowboys. If the Seahawks just get in the tournament, if they get in, they can win. And that's the most important thing. The NFC is wide open in 2023 through 24 in this postseason here. So just get in, then you got a shot. That's all you can ask for. And I feel very confident the Seahawks, if they get the job done this weekend, they can find a way to make some noise in the postseason. If you enjoyed today's show, if you want to make the playoffs, hit the like button on today's video. We'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks.